Hello there. It is the full moon reading for December and a Vlogmas reading too, I guess. So I'm doing Vlogmas. Okay. So how is everybody? How is everyone doing? We're in we're in Mercury retrograde at this point. It goes in on the full moon, which is also, I believe, is a super moon. So some big power there. What do you want to activate? I kind of feel is the question that keeps coming up right now. What needs activating? Is on going into this Mercury retrograde. Just ask for ease. That's what I always do. I'm like ease, 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 ease. And I always think it's interesting because some people have like a harder time with the shadow. Once you were going in and out more than they do have with the actual retrograde itself. I always find that very interesting, how that can happen to people. But other things that's going on, I sold my first painting this month. Yes! I'm so excited. There are still 2 on sale. Abstract Bright, Abstract Dark. There's affirmation cards on sale still. Get Crystal End of the Year Special is happening from December 1st to the 12th. And it means you can get it for $90 as opposed to $111. It's a big reading. It's a 13-card intuitive reading, plus you get your year cards and your life cards. And if you've had one of these done by me before, you'll know that the life cards get reinterpreted each year. I just do not give you, because they don't change. Yeah, so say if it's like strength, and I'm not going to give you the same thing I did last year. That would be boring. I'd be bored by that. But it's on sale. It's one of my favorite readings and really was one of my first big offerings that I did. And yeah, it's geared to be an energetic map that helps you navigate your year. And it's just big, it's juicy, and I think it's so funny. One of my friends, she's like, first year I got one, I'm like, oh, I already dealt with all that stuff. And then about a month or 2 into the year, she's like, wait a minute, this is all right. She was so funny. She's like, yep, it was spot on. And so, yeah, the great thing about it, I like about it, is like, you'll be reading and you're like, parts of it will not make sense in the beginning. And then 2 months later, something makes sense. And then 6 months later, you're like, oh, and you can see how it all starts to connect in your life and falls into place. And it's one of those things I really, really use to help me navigate where I'm going and figure that out. Especially with year cards. I started working intensively with year cards the year I created this reading and this offering. And yeah, really marvelous. So links are down below if you want to order one of those or another reading. It's up to you, full moon reading would be awesome too. Or Amethyst Angel is probably one of my best sellers. It's a fun one. Transmute your dark energy if you're looking to work through some issues you can't see around. But okay, let's go get back to a reading. What do I have today? I have the Vintage Wisdom Oracle and the Aquarian Tarot today. And let's see what we have in store for us. Ooh, protection. So how do you define this? Was the first thing that popped into my head. How do you define protection? I used to define protection as pulling as far into myself as I could so you couldn't see me. I would hide. I would pull so deep, my energy in to be invisible. That's one way of hiding. The other way of hiding, which is what I do now, is to send out so much energy that I'm kind of just surrounding everyone. You're just in it. But I'm not absorbing you. Even though you may be in my huge energetic field, in my auric field, I'm not absorbing your stuffs. How do you define protection? These days I filter more than I shield or pull in. And that filter is huge. Just keep working on my auric field. And making it big, strong, and robust. So it just filters out what I don't need. It goes away. I don't have to know what you're thinking of Costco. It just filters you right on out, and I come home without a headache. So what is protection? What do you feel you need protection from? Where are you feeling vulnerable? Because it's a weird place right now. The world is in a very strange place. So I can see how you could feel you need a little protection from the world and to hold up. And I think it's actually she had geese on here. Swans can be pretty aggressive too, though. Geese will like chase you down. Forget a guard dog. Get geese. You can't bribe a goose. The goose will still attack you after you feed it. So get goose. Forget the dog. So we have protection here as our first card of how are we looking at protection? How are we defining it within our lives? How are we using it? Why do we feel we need that protection? You'll really take some good looks at why you are feeling that need to protect, whether it's you or someone else close to you, and see where it stems from. Where does that come from? Okay. It doesn't feel right yet. I just kind of shuffle till it says done, or cards start flying out. I figure when cards start flying out, the deck is saying, I don't want to be shuffled anymore. Okay. Okay. Ooh, nice. What else we got? Ooh, interesting combo here. We have 2 court cards. So we have protection as this card right here. I think of this as our guide card. If I was doing a reading for you, this would be your guide card. So this is what I always think, the oracle card as the guide card. So protection. Protection. What do we need protection from? And then we have the Page of Pentacles. I feel like this is that looking at where we feel scared, where we feel that we need to protect. What are we protecting? I kind of feel like that's where this Page of Pentacles is heading. He's like, do we really need to create a wall and build it so strongly that, because he's earth, isn't he? He's earthy part earth. So are we digging holes to protect ourselves? That's the other thought. It's like, how are you doing this? Is your protection counterproductive, or is it a productive protection? There's a strong feel here of trying to, dig the hole, bury yourself in, hide. That kind of hiding protection. It doesn't always work. People still see you, unfortunately, when you're trying to hide. Or you end up so hidden no one sees you, and you kind of float through life and no one sees you because you're so inside you. So how can you step out of that? How can you plant your seeds and grow? How can you create a new way to protect yourself? And we're also in Mercury retrograde. I can't talk anymore. Mercury retrograde. So I feel like this could also be playing into these 2 cards of really you need to protect yourself because people's words are flying. And we have a lot of flying words right now anyways. But of that energy of like miscommunication and feeling you need to do a little extra protection from miscommunication. maybe. But yeah, there's this feeling of like, I'm burying it. I dig a hole, I puts it in, and I bury it. Whether it's you're burying yourself, burying your energy, burying the problem, burying the miscommunication of Mercury retrograde. So take a good look at that. How is protection playing into this earthy part of Earth? And how can you create fertile ground out of that? How can you flip it so it's not I want to use the word negative, because it's not necessarily negative. Counterproductive, but it's not positive either. It's just kind of like something that's not really helping you along, but it's not really hindering you either. It's kind of just like a little bit neutral at the moment. But instead of like being like, I'm just going to bury it, I'm going to protect it so well no one can ever see it again, ask yourself how you can grow what you need to out of that experience, those words, that thought, a feeling is kind of where I feel like it's going, because those two kind of feel, the Page of Pentacles and protection, feel like the issues right now of how we're dealing with it, how we don't want to deal with it, deal, not deal, pretend, neutral, and it's kind of creating this whole big ball, and we're just like, okay, I'm going to dig a hole, put it in, bury it, done. But the problem is it's not done. It's just buried. It's not being fruitful. It's not gone. It's not released. It's just buried. And you need to find a way to make it, germinate. And that's where the Queen of Rods comes in. Just use your fire. Fire is going to be your superpower for this full moon. How can you just use your creativity and take care of these two in a really productive manner that doesn't bury it and just takes it and goes, okay, I'm going to transform this. I feel like she's really hearing that transformative quality she can have. The faces on this are very white and light. The Aquarian Tarot, there's not a lot of shading of the face. I do love the colors on these, though. There's just such a beautiful deck. So, Queen of Rods, how can we use our creativity to take what we're trying to bury and transform it, make it into something else, make it into wonderful yumminess of whatever we need it to be? So just be aware, you're going to have this feeling of like, maybe I need to protect more. And instead of pulling inwards or trying to get rid of it and release it, bring in the creativities. Bring in ways to think out of the box. However that works for you. It's different for everyone. Take it to your journal, take it to your art journal, and see what happens when you just start writing or creating art. How can you take that urge to bury and protect and hide and transform it into something wonderful? I feel like this is snake energy still. Spider's here too, but snake really is coming through hardcore this full moon with that transformative bit of not hiding. So yeah, that's where can you take it? How can you be creative? Just run with it. And the direction doesn't matter. Just go. Whoosh. Just go do something. Go transform it. That's really the transform is what really keeps coming through with the Queen of Rods there. And that's why I feel like the snake energy too is strongly entwined with her for this full moon. Okay. Let's get an affirmation card. I have to squish these down. You gotta squish them every once in a while because they're watercolor paper, so they get kind of a curve to them. And they're not laminated. Okay, let's go. Speak truth. So, when you feel that need to protect, when you feel that need to hide, when you feel that need to bury it, one of the ways we're going to transform it is to say that that's how you're feeling. Instead of hiding from it, burying it, or making yourself so small it can't see you. We're going to speak our truth, and this does not mean being brutally honest. It is not being a jerk. It's speaking with compassion, love, and from the heart. And yes, sometimes what we have to say with compassion, truth, and love from the heart can be sucky. But we don't have to drop it like a megaton bomb on someone. I always feel like when someone's like, I gotta be brutally honest, or I'm just telling it like it is. It's like a code word. The people are like, yeah, I'm gonna be a jerk and just kind of tell you what I want to tell you without any concern for your feelings. And it's kind of a crappy thing to do to people. And we've all done it before. We know that, but we can strive for better. We can strive to speak our truths with love and compassion for both sides. And that includes you. It's not a denial of what you need, and it's not a denial of what the other person may need. Because you both need to speak your truth, and it's really just you speaking your truth. Sometimes it is you speaking your truth to yourself. Oh, that's okay, never mind. Because you can speak your truth to yourself, because sometimes you do need to really iterate it. But yeah, don't be a jerk about speaking your truth. Be a loving person and speak your truth. Okay. He tapojiga sa hientis nimaniki hidora bitish katere. Shamiti kote zamisa sukola sikita dono nisa te bidala satati chakata. Here so he kitasaka ninki. Shamishi katila batamiki dada suzoshishno. Shamisa shigidi kila niga bahe soketish niki. Hoise po kamaniki ko pran. Pimpan sakameke dala sakita mosata chikita pikiti punita. Kaiton mitikoela katka ila ka. Iskopma sitchi chan chanchon chin kalabadero seteri galamikata butik sakahai ketminkopa. So shishikocha. Penny kasketera mikitiro shikitike. Bonisko skjaskinische, date sosa moderiket buha, hier hon mikitisko niatro. Askoro ka hikatiska ni hote positite, so me kalanche. Sani niso manikitisa data she, hanakaliko, kanikalta. Shati komedie dola piteteshkate te katrak. Moji kotarasi kete po alni hadlakete kasa. Hemeste katati ko pre. Somacha shikichin chalinte ofe. Eta kisa mislo shetaranjigo. Chamikaskich. Sashi shosh. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being part of this journey. Yeah, I just lost all my words, so I'm just gonna say bye.